Just like any other day.
Except everybody's watching. So you're very welcome. This is Aisling Mooney, spiritual business mentor and coach, and I'm here with the stunning, with the beautiful, with the amazing, my soul sister, Marcia O'Regan, color therapist, alchemist, spiritual entrepreneur, and we just wanted to come together. I got this. I was talking to Marcia last night, talking about she is a brilliant support to me during this launch for the Abundant Heart. And we were just talking, and she said, God, I'd love to come on and talk about the vibration of red, because tomorrow is a 111, and the month of October is a 1 month, and it's red. And for me, that's Archangel Haniel. And, so I said, it'd be brilliant. And then I woke up this morning, and I was just about to ring her and say, why don't we just have a call about everything that we know about business and let people ask questions? And I went to ring her, and she had just rang me. So it was like, she was like, I just getting all these downloads. I want to tell everybody. So we're madly excited to talk to everybody today, and we're really committed to answering all your questions and giving you a little bit of background about us, where we've come from. You know a lot about me because you've been listening to me this whole week, but maybe a little bit about Marcia's story as well and her journey. She's a mum of 3 kids, and she's built this beautiful business that supports her and allows her to reach many, many people, all over the world now at this stage, and has a beautiful income and actually works now helping people through their money blocks. So it's color and money and alchemy and manifestation. And so I'm getting goosebumps even just being here, Marcia. So, do you want to say hello first of all, and then I'll ask you a question?
Yeah. So, hello everyone, and thanks, Aisling, because I feel the exact same about you as you feel about me. And I feel this call is actually going to be quite a powerful call, because I had my top on, another cardigan, and I had to take it off. The heat literally was like, I'm roasted. So there's something in this that someone or all of you need to hear. Because, I've been actually doing this for over 15 years, and there's an awful lot of things that would have saved me an awful lot of time, an awful lot of wasted energy, that if I had somebody to sit me down, it really would have helped me. So I see this really, the space that we're creating today is a womanhood, the wise woman. This isn't a sisterhood, it's a womanhood where this wisdom will we pass on, can actually make a difference in your life, and then you decide what to do, what parts resonate with you.
And we have some guys in here as well. So
great.
We're not leaving them out.
Great. No, but the men have the divine feminine.
Yeah.
The men have that wisdom of, the divine feminine in them as well, so.
So, tell us a little bit about, so you said you have 15 years, but sort of the big breakthroughs for you have been in the last 3 to 5 years, when things have really started to start working and taking off. But just, so maybe talk a little bit about that. How were you before, and what was the thing, and then things started to change? What was it that got things started to change? And just before we could jump into that, anybody who have any questions, put them in the chat box, and I'll make sure that I ask them to Marcia at some stage, and even we might have a chance for a one-to-one on the actual call at some, so we'll see what we have. We want to keep it short and sweet, but we'll just play it by ear as well. As much as you need today, we'll give you. So what do you think?
So I started out all enthusiastic, and I did quite well in that. I just put my stuff out there, but I was trying too hard, pushing and trying and doing. And then I got to a point when 5 years ago, then I started having my children. And then I realized, oh my God, I can't keep going like this, because there's only one of me, and something has to change. If I keep doing the same thing, then I'm going to keep getting the same result. So actually, when I had Elodie, so that's 3 years ago now, I joined this coaching program which is where I met you. And what I learned from that process is I actually made that decision from a place of lack in some respects, because it was like I was putting it out there that I needed the systems and I needed to do something, but I didn't know what. And that's what I felt in that, by me in that group, was there is no way that I would have met you if I hadn't joined that program. So that program really connected me to my soul sisters that actually supported me. And then the next things then started shifting in relation to when I'd taken action, then I'd actually really get a result as if I had taken 10 actions previously. And so what I learned actually really in the last year is that the more that I invested in myself, the more my clients invested in themselves. Okay? And also when we're working in energy, we can't do this alone. We actually can't do it alone. And if we do it, we'll be exhausted by the end of it. Because I've tried that as well. I've tried doing it. That's why I think it's taken me so long. So it's 15 years in this. It's only in the last 5 years. Because the other 10 years, I didn't have a coach. I didn't get involved in any program or group and if I had my time over again, that would be one of the first things I do. And so that's what I, like in your Abundant Heart. So I have 12 graduates, colour graduates, and there's only 3 out of the 12 who are actually working as colour therapists or using colour in their business.
Yeah.
And they're all working with you, because when I handed the certificate, I said, your next person is Aisling Mooney.
Yeah. Because
I knew that us sensitive beings, it's not the traditional way of doing things. It doesn't work.
Yeah. It
doesn't work. So we need the combination of someone who understands our energies, someone helps us build intuition like you do, use our intuition, and from that place then decide what systems and what packages. But it really comes back to knowing yourself and knowing why you're here.
Can we talk a little bit about, because we were talking about this on the phone, about we were so much juicy stuff on that phone, I was like, God, I wish I could press record. But we were talking about the energy right now for light workers, men and women, light workers, working in this field of healing and therapy and fitness and coaching. And we're all feeling it. If you're not feeling it, you're missing something. But there is a vibration, there's a rising, there's a revolution, there's something, a surge of something in the air the last year to 2 years, and it's actually accelerating all the time. Like this month I woke up like I had hot feet. I was like, oh my God. Right. Today it's just, a rocking day. I really felt the vibration of this month. And for me, it's Haniel. It's about really standing up for yourself, really being a warrior in your life, and learning to say no very, very clearly to things that you no longer need, and only saying yes to what serves your soul. And so just talk a little bit about that. What's your take on that, Marcia, of the surge of energy that's coming, and why now, and why are light workers suddenly, like even coaching, women in business and coaching and light workers in general, just a surge of businesses online, and we're just suddenly becoming this visible force for good in the world.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things actually that you're right. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about today first, because it's the 1st of October 2017. 111. So it really, 1 is associated with colour red. And on top of that, it's a 1 month because it's October, which is 10. So 1 and 0 is 1. And on top of that, we're in a 1 year, which is the first year of a 9-year cycle. Okay, now what does that mean? This means that red is about taking action. Red is leadership, it's passion, it's love. Red is going to walk in and it's going to say, that's my chair. Thanks very much. And they take the chair. They won't be pussyfooting around thinking, well, if I take that chair now, they might, will I take that chair of somebody else? Because red knows that there's more chairs from where they came from. So it's a very abundant, it's very much saying like, you know what, I have a place on this earth. I am here to serve. And now I'm going to actually take action. And they're quite sure of themselves in a very grounded way, and they do like attention. So this vibration of red that we have available to us, just remember as well, September, this particular year, was a huge, huge month. And in fact, this year in total, all the months are driven by the red energy. Red, there is no more time for pussyfooting around. You're either in the game or you're out of the game. You either want to serve people or you don't want to serve people, and you are not your story. Okay, so this is very, very clear. And it's getting to the point because on the 23rd of September, there was another portal of energy opened. And for me, I really feel that it was the full embodiment of the divine feminine energy. This divine feminine energy is about its ease, its grace, its nurturing, its wisdom, its intuition, and it's a knowing. It's this knowing, and this place like that, we're not alone. We are all connected. And so because of that, the universe has been waiting for us to, step up. And some have been dawdling and telling themselves why they can't do it. And it's getting to the point actually now, and we have seen this in the world with all the hurricanes, all the things that are shaking people up to say, the old way does not work. It's not working anymore. So now we have a choice here. It's getting to the point that you have free will right now. But I can tell you by the end of the year, if you haven't used that free will, divine will come in and take over, because they can't wait. They cannot wait anymore. And I'm getting these downloads that's really, really strong. And I'm very firm now. I'm like, look, I'm not here to waste time, because there are thousands, there are millions of people. Nobody else can do your job, only you. You're not taking from anybody. In fact, what you're taking right now is not showing up. You're taking from people if you're not showing up, because you are contracted to serve these people. These people need you, because what's going to happen is I work with you. You're going to work with someone else. That person is going to work with someone else. It's the only way that we can reach these thousands of people. And it's now. It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow. It's now. And today is that energy. It's just like, right. There was a lot of completion, a lot of energetic shifts, a lot of support that brought down by the higher beings to really help us. But you know what? God only helps those who help themselves, and now it's us. And so when I saw in the group that there were different colors coming in relation to the colors people were getting after you took them through that amazing exercise about their energy, if anybody got red, it's listen, you're the leader, you decide, you take inspired action. You either take action now or you stay where you are. And if you do stay where you are, if nothing changes, nothing is going to change. And anybody that got green, then it's your green light. If you were looking for a green light, if you were looking for a confirmation, green is go. Green is like, it's heart-centered, it's healing, it's balance, it's money, it's abundance, it's green. And anybody that got gold, it's like, it's this divine wisdom. It's like, you have something to pass on. It's gold is not given to you only for the fact that you have earned it. It's the only color in the spectrum that the attributes cannot be learned. They are only earned. So that's what this month is about. And this is why today is such a powerful day, and we're feeling it because, there is no more waiting around. They can't have us waiting around anymore. We know we're light workers. We know we have a job to do. And now we just need to get on and do it. And we can make this easy or we can make it difficult. If you want it easy, then you jump into a program like Ashling's, where you have somebody who has done this before and can make it so much easier. you can also have the people to support you. There's nothing more beautiful than when one rises, everybody else rises.
Mm. That's what you said that to me about the birds.
I have it here. After that, I was like, where did I put that piece of paper? So I'm going to read this out to you because it's absolutely beautiful. It's The Lessons from the Geese by Milton Olson. As each bird flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the following by flying in a V formation. The whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than if the bird flew alone.
Oh my God.
The lesson. People who share a common direction and a sense of community can get where they're going more quickly and easily because they are traveling on the trust of one another. I mean, that makes me cry. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Whenever a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to fly alone. And it quickly gets back into the formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird immediately in front.
Wow.
The lesson? If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation with those who are headed where they want to go and be willing to accept their help as well as give ours to the others.
Oh my God.
When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back to the formation and another goose flies at the point position. The lesson? It pays to take turns at doing the hard tasks and sharing leadership with people. As with geese, we are interdependent on each other. The geese in formation honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. The lesson here is we need to make sure our honking from behind is encouraging and not something else. When a goose gets sick or wounded or shot down, two geese drop out of formation and follow it down to help and protect it. They stay with it until it's able to fly again or dies. They then launch out on their own with another formation or catch up with the flock. The lesson, if we have as much sense as the geese, we too will stand by each other in difficult times as well as when we are strong. Goosebumps.
Oh my God, that was gorgeous. Will you post that in the group, Marcia?
Yeah, I will. I will.
Gorgeous. So that's for me it's been in communities, and I can feel this rise of light workers just gathering together. And I want to talk a little bit about money because that's one of your gifts in the last, you've really come out strong in the last year or two around light workers having money. And I just want to say something. There's a lot of money in the world. A lot of money in the world. And it's not in, all of it is not in the hands of people that are light workers or have full heartfelt integrity and want the best for everyone, for our planet and for everybody on it. And for me, part of this revolution of light workers is taking back their power, to stop shaming each other for wanting to be paid for their gifts, to start accepting, go clear up those generations and huge ancestral rubbish that's, and fears and stuff that's holding us back. We're in 2017. It's time now for us to get fairly paid for the work that we deliver. In my group this week, in the free group, the free training, the revelations that people have had around their transformation, the client and the transformation, like some of that is miraculous. Like taking somebody that's sick, that's depressed, that's sad, that's suicidal, and giving them back their life. How do you put a price on that? And there's some people doing those services now as light workers, and they might be charging 20 quid, or they might be giving it away free. And it's about us realizing the value of our work, finally realizing the value of our work, and being courageous enough and strong enough to accept that abundance into our lives, open up those channels for that money to come in for a package for us to really get the self-respect to accept what we deserve for our work. And then light workers, I want to give money to light workers. I want to give money to somebody that when they have money will pay to look after themselves, will pay to look after their communities, invest in their communities, employ other women and other light workers, men and women that are full-hearted, you know, give to charities, give to causes that inspire them. When we have anything, we want to give it to someone else to make their life better. So it's I'm getting goosebumps. It's about empowerment. It's about taking back our power. We need to really stand and stop the shaming, stop the guilt, let go of the past and say, I deserve, for the thousands that I've put in, the thousands of hours and the thousands of pounds and dollars and euros, I deserve to be paid fairly so that I can make the full powerful contribution to change this world for the better. That's what I want for my children and for my descendants, that I played my part, that I stood up and I said, no, I'm not going to be invisible anymore. I'm going to stand strong. I deserve to be paid fairly for my work, for my healing gifts, because they are transformational. And that's the case for everybody in this group and everybody listening to this live or in the replay. So have you anything to add to that so I get off my soapbox?
Oh, I have loads. I'm going to say one thing. It's never about the money. It's always about the fear. I'm going to say that again. It is never about the money. It's always about the fear. It's the excuse. So, how do I know this? I've been there. That's the first point. And the second thing I know to be true. If I was to say to myself, anytime I've invested in myself, that I didn't have the money, I would never, I wouldn't be where I am today. Right? And how I know that was like, even just, when was this? Only maybe five months ago, was it? 5 months ago, I woke up in the morning to work with this, and I got a signal saying, you're to work with this woman. So I rang this woman and I say, right, today is the day that I'm going to work with you. But she was 20,000, in fact, it's 25,000 pounds, because it's 20,000 pounds for the year, but then there are other retreats, so you have to pay for those extra retreats. So anyway, 25,000 basically is what it was. I didn't have at the time 25,000 pounds in my account. And by the way, we're talking euros as well, so you're probably talking actually over 25,000. And that did not stop me. And I remember my husband saying to me, where are you going to get that money? I said, I don't know, but that money is coming because I know I'm in that program. So anyway, within 2 weeks, out of the blue, I made 8,000. And anyway, the jig for the reels anyway, is that I have now paid off that program within 4 months. So May, June, July, August. So yeah, I had paid it before actually. So 4 months later anyway. So I'm into my 6th month now, but 4 months into the program, that was completely paid off. Now, if I was to be waiting until I had the money, I'd be waiting. The other thing that I learned is that if I have invested, and I really felt actually, when I said yes to that, it was the first time that I said yes to myself, like really yes to myself. And that gave me my power. Me owning my power. And what literally, once I did that, then I saw that literally clients were coming to me like out of nowhere. And it was June, I made 17K, literally just like that. And then I got a message. It takes the same energy to earn 100 euros as it does 17,000 euros. It's our projection of what that is that keeps it from us or keeps it away from us. And I did not, by the way, focus on the money. I focused on the service. The money is the byproduct. But if you want to help people, you have to show up And for me, I was invested. I was not talking I was talking the talk. I wasn't talking about it and not doing it. I showed the universe to say, right, you've given me this. I don't know where this money is coming from. I literally did not care either. I just was like following the cue. And look you couldn't have imagined that. Then when it came to me doing my essential, I got a cue then to do literally very soon after that I was to work with women, a womanhood. And it was for 6 months, 6K. I'd never charged that amount of money before to work with me. I was having like a kitten. One day, it was a Monday morning, it was like someone took me, lifted me and put me on the couch. And I had Christ standing in front of me. And he put his hand on my forehead and I had Shamuel on my back. And this is what he said to me. First of all, it's not you doing the work. It's us. Secondly, the signing the contract is the commitment from the person, and handing over this amount of money is anchoring into the energy that you are going to be working with. So I was like, and it was very firm like that. It was like really, I was like, oh, okay, I get it loud and clear. And then literally, once I literally said, okay, it was like actually they pinned me down. And they were like, listen here now, lady, this is how it's going to be. So that showed me. And it's true. I mean.
Mm-hmm. So, and you've had support. You've always had support through these steps, Marcia, because it's not that, and I'm just talking to other people that might be listening, and they might be, there was a stage in my life where I did stuff for free. There was a stage in my life where I did, I worked up to €20, to €40, to €50, to €100, and move up and up, and create packages now for thousands of euro. But you don't go from zero to charging $6,000. There's a whole process there, and there's incremental leaps, and each one is terrifying. Each little leap, even if it's only €5 for you or £5 for you, can be terrifying. Or if you go from not having charged anything to suddenly asking people for money, there's still terror there. There's terror at every stage, and that's where the community support and the understanding of the journey, the breakdown and the breakthrough, and that each up level, no matter where you are on that scale, is going to be scary. It's going to be a jump. But I just would love you to speak to people that are starting out and they're like, Marcia's talking to me about 6K, and I'm like, I'm still giving me services away for free. So we're just talk a little bit about that, Marcia. People.
Yeah, so what I'll say is, number one, you have invested in getting your qualifications, right? Mm-hmm. Now you need to use those qualifications to I know some people, I'm sure there's a lot of people in this group that you could actually, wallpaper the room with all the certs you have, right? Now what you need to do is you need to take that knowledge and you need to help the people that you're contracted to help. You can't do that alone, because for a number of reasons. First of all, you haven't done it before in this world, in this time. Secondly, even if you had, what took you here will not take you there. Right? And the third thing is, because we're so sensitive, and because we are we're very different to, we'll say, the normal run of the mill. The normal run of the mill will not work for you. So I would say to you to really, it's a no-brainer to jump on this program. Roisin, she qualified with me 3 years ago. Right? And I said to her, Aisling, if you're a woman, the abundant heart, just do the abundant heart. 9 months ago she did it. She now it's literally, I'd say she's probably doing, if I look where I am now in comparison where she is in her business, she's actually only about maybe a year behind me in relation to where I was in my business. It took me 15 years to do it. She's done it in less than 2 years. right? So why wouldn't you do it? Why would you do it the hard way? Why wouldn't you just jump on board now, be surrounded by a loving community, get the support on many levels, the money story, the energy level, the pricing level, because if you make um, quite a lot of people make decisions from in relation to pricing from, oh, what will they pay? It's none of your business what people will pay. That's not your job. But if you tune in and say, divine source, tell me what I'm to pay, they'll give you the number. And for some reason, you'll be in alignment with it. So, and when you do, put yourself out there, there is that fear. As human beings, we like security. As an entrepreneur, there's no security. The sooner that you let go of the need to be secure, the higher you're going to fly, the more freedom you're going to have. And the way that you can do that with ease and grace and quick, like I said, Spirit want us to get a move on. So this is why you're in you want to be in that program, because you'll make huge headway. Maybe you can't see that from where you are now, but from what I know, out of my 12 people, who only 3 did something afterwards, the others plodded along like I did for 15 years, and they're the only 3 that are really making money from their business. So if you wanted any other proof, it proves in that small number of people that the others are nowhere near where the other 3 are. Nowhere near.
Yeah.
And if you look at what they've done and what the others have done, that's the only difference.
Yeah.
They invested in themselves, and they invested with somebody, because you can invest in yourself. There are plenty of other programs you could be doing, but I would challenge you to go and find someone who has the whole, who looks at the practical, because you need the practical. You need to know about the systems. You need to know a little bit about the technology to keep you going until you get to a point where you'll be able to invest and help. Say for me, I have no interest in Facebook ads. So I have employed Inga to do my Facebook ads, because that's her forte. That's her zone of genius. My zone of genius is doing my work. So it frees me up. And the other thing I do is I have a VA who does all the admin, because again, that's something that annoys me and would take me half the day to do. So I'm like, no, I'd rather go and get my hair done and have a coffee in my favorite coffee shop, because that fills me up. That brings me joy. And when I'm in a good place, then I'm more available for my clients. I'm more available, by the way, as well, when you're not worrying about what you should be doing. If you don't know what you're going to be doing next in your business, then people are going to pick up on that. Okay. And they're going to feel your unsteadiness. When someone is working with you, you have to be available and grounded and know exactly what you're doing. Because if you don't, they will pick up on that. And that's why people will either commit and fall away, or you'll find that you find it difficulty to get clients in the first place, or for very long.
I wanted to just jump in with something about the long-term view of a business. That there was a time in my life where it was, how many clients have I got this week? And then if somebody cancelled, it was like, oh no, it's dependent on that money to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage, to whatever, and the one thing probably that has helped me in new business, the new business world, or new business knowledge, and from working with a coach and in programs, is the long-term view of my business, that it's not just one program or one package or one thing that I do. And I'm not just depending on one client. And something you said about it takes as much energy to make 100 as it does 1,000. It takes as much energy to get one client for one session as it does to get one client for 6 sessions for a package or for a program or for someone to work with you for a year. And that's one of the focuses in the Abundant Heart, is just to open your mind a little bit and think outside of the box rather than one-to-one, because it can be draining, and it can really affect your security and your sense of stability if you're depending week to week, day by day, on the amount of clients that you're going to get. So if you have a more of a long-term view, and it means that in the periods when, for me, I'm off in the summer. August, I practically did nothing this month, but I had other strategies in place and other income coming in from programs over the whole year, that it's a sustainable business. So I don't have to throw the kids in front of the telly and run out and grab a client, or go and book a room and pay for rental. I don't have to push myself out there. I can say I don't have to work Saturdays anymore if I don't want to. So it's a change of business. I worked really, really, really hard in the beginning of my business. Now, I trained in 2000, start training, so it's about the same. It's 15 years more or less. So it's like, in the beginning, I worked so hard and sacrificed a lot of things that I just wouldn't sacrifice now. So it's about, and I mean, I have 2 kids, Marcia, 9 and 5. You've 3 kids under 6. It's not a full-time business that we're talking about here. And it's
No,
not.
I work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, half day Wednesday, and off Friday.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And it's sustainable. So it's like, when your kids are off, you can be off. When you're, you can go on holidays, but there's about putting strategies in place, thinking of your business in a long term. And it's not a full-time business. Some people say to me, I'm going to give up work and I'm going to go into my holistic business full-time. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely. Who wants a massage therapist that works a full 8 hours a day, every day for it? Absolutely not. We're not in, you cannot, in my opinion, sustain a light worker's business, a therapeutic business, in 40 hours, 20 hours max.
Yeah, well, what I feel is, and this has got to do a little bit of the money game as well, but also the business. I just want to tell you about the business world that is food for thought. If you take a football match, right? For that football match, for people to play and win that football match, they have someone in the front field. You've got corner field, front. They're playing back. You've got the goalie. You've the midfielders. All of those people are playing at different parts of the playing pitch in order to play the game and win the game. Mm. And it's the exact same as an entrepreneur. Mm. You are one person, but for you to be an entrepreneur, you have to serve, you have to do the marketing, you have to do the accounting, you've got to do all those things. But there comes a point that you can do all those balls within reason, but but you can't. It's not sustainable, but it's really important to see all the things that you do, like somebody playing a football match. So how are you playing your football match in your business? How is that working out for you? Well, because if it's not working out for you, you can see if someone isn't playing well on that field, they'll take a guy off the field and then put on someone else. Right? And I think us as coaches and healers, we're the refs. We're overseeing. We're able to say, look, you can do this, 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 and this. So you could save yourself like weeks of work, wasting your time that you could have been wasting your time. It's like we all have the same 24 hours in the day. But what you and I do with that 24 hours is going to it really makes a difference. And that's ultimately what it is. Yeah. So, and I also say to you as well, any light worker, if you're giving away if you're doing one-on-one sessions, you're doing a disservice to your clients. And I'll tell you why that is. Because if someone comes to you in a one-to-one the first time, it takes a bit of time to kind of connect. It's, particularly if you're doing stuff, like inner work, like even for like yoga, qigong, any healing, even massage, there's that vulnerability. So it kind of takes a little bit of time for, maybe 5 minutes to kind of get comfortable. Then you have a session, but you're not going to be able to deal with that person's life in one session. So I would say a minimum of 3 sessions, a minimum. Because what you're doing is you're after opening up that person, you're after doing some work in them, and you're letting them all off then to deal with all the emotions themselves on their own. It's not serving them. What people would need really is they need support. And to get that support, you create a package. You think, right, if you look at the past of your clients, where they are, what really, how could you be kinder to those clients? Be kinder by helping those clients, by being available, by supporting them. And that comes in a package, that comes at a price, And the other thing I'll say to you is that if people haven't paid, if they haven't invested themselves, they won't show up. They won't show up, because the other thing relies, maybe at the stage that you're in now, there is that fear, like, will I, won't I? Because when you come into this program, there is no going back. You are playing full on. You're going to be the successful person that your soul is saying to you. Yes, you can do this. Yes, yes, yes. But not from a place of breaking your back and doing and trying. It's the being, who you're being and how you're being in any given moment creates the result.
Yeah.
And us energy workers need this kind of space to be held. And that's what you're doing, Aisling. You're holding the space. And you are showing others there's nothing more beautiful than holding the space for gifted, beautiful souls. And you have the same ability as I have, that what we do is the soul reveals itself, your soul revealed itself to Aisling this week. And what she's going to do in Abundant Heart is she's going to show you the soul, your soul, that reveal, to you. And that is why you would be in the Abundant Heart.
I love your passion and this red energy that's just lifting you up. I keep trying to throw on business questions and you keep bringing people back to get on the Abundant Heart.
No, but it's true.
Yeah.
I feel so passionate about it. I feel because I'm so proud. Like when I see like the people that I've worked with, who have qualified with me, and I see that they've done that, it's just like, oh, I'm grateful to you for doing that for them.
Yeah. Okay, my dears. So we are going to wind up with the beautiful Marcia. So if anyone has any questions, put them in the chat box now, or you can ask them in the Facebook group afterwards. And as Marcia has said, the Abundant Heart program is now open and available to you, and it's actually closing very, very soon. So if you're on the fence, and I can't really add any more words to Marcia, so if you're on the fence and you're ready to jump, it's my privilege and honor to walk with you on the next step of your journey, and to help you to really start to have a business that is flourishing, that's coming from your heart, that gets you out there serving the people that you're meant to serve, part of your contract, the people that you're karmically here to serve and to meet and to help on the planet at this time, and to join with this revolution, this group of us that are gathering together. Every day there's more of us, just to whoosh this energy up, like those flock of birds, that we just rise together. We can rise together. We've got to, holding each other's hands, arm linking up the mountain, step by step until we get there.
But I also want to say as well that if you look like, if I would say like just 3 takeaways. The firstly is you can't do this alone. Any successful person in any industry all have coaches. Okay, anybody that's really making some form of a mark in the world, they've all coaches, including us. We have coaches.
Yeah.
The other thing is, because we're so sensitive, we can't do it alone. So having the loving support and loving hand to say, look, darling, don't worry, get on, you'll make lifetime friendships. That alone. And the third thing is that the universe is saying, enough waiting around, it's now. The new paradigm isn't coming, it's here.
Yeah.
You felt it. So the old ways, whatever ways you were doing, aren't going to work anyway, unless you have been in flow, ease, love, self-care, nurturing, coming from that place of like following the downloads, this inner trust, this inner knowing. Unless you're coming, that's why we're working. The old way doesn't work, so you may as well drop that now. They are the 3 takeaways that I would say, that if you had told me that 10 years ago, I would be Oprah by now.
watch out in another few years. So I hope that this was valuable and useful. I learned a lot. I really absolutely enjoyed it. I love this red energy, and I think it's going to fill me up for the whole month and just keep me going, and really bring us to a new platform in our healing work. And just want to say a big thank you to Marcia for sharing our wisdom, our passion. Marcia, where can people find you? Where's the best place?
So I have a private group called Colour and Wealth Alchemy on Facebook. And I'm going to give you my new website, because next week, hopefully, my new website is going to be ready to be launched, and it's www.glowyourtruecolors.com.
Brilliant.
And I just see Suzanne actually has mentioned something which is really interesting. As you mentioned before, to each one has their talents. You need a mixture of people to support you, and that's so true.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Marcia, thank you so much. Okay, love, thank you so much. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks for staying on till the end. And if you have any further questions, post them in the Facebook group under this video, and myself or Marcia will get to you before the end of the day. So bye, Marcia. Bye, everybody.
Bye.